Good day, boys and girls. Welcome to this another lesson in mathematics. For today, we'll be looking at rounding numbers to the nearest 10. My name is Michelle Bailey. Let's get right into our objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to round two-digit numbers to the nearest 10. Use rounded numbers to estimate answers for addition or subtraction problems. Use estimation to check if solutions to addition and subtraction problems are reasonable. Let's play a game. It is called a guessing game. Here in my hand, I have 3 bags. In this game, you must guess the number of beans in each bag using a tens number. This means the number you guess must end with a 0. Further on in our lesson, we will check to find out if your guess was correct. Pay attention to the bags again. I'm going to give you another opportunity to look at the amount of things that are in each bag. Now, what have we just done? Yes, we have guessed or estimated the number of things. Our numbers ended with 0, so we were rounding numbers to the nearest 10. Why do we round off numbers? Rounding numbers help us to solve everyday mathematics problems when we don't need an exact answer. That's called an estimate. What are some of the things we can estimate in our daily lives? I'll give you a minute to think about those things. Here are some things we estimate in our daily lives: money, minutes, sets or groups of objects which can be counted, the weight of a bag of sugar, distances, example, from school to home, size of a piece of land. Now we'll be doing a little song about rounding off. Here is the song on screen. Any number that is less than 5, less than 5, less than 5. Any number that is less than 5, you will round, round, down. You will round, round, down. You will round, round, down. Any number that is less than 5, less than 5, less than 5. Any number that is less than 5, you will round, round, down. Any number that is 5 and more, 5 and more, 5 and more. Any number that is 5 and more, you will round, round, up. You will round, round, up. You will round, round, up. Any number that is 5 and more, 5 and more, 5 and more. Any number that is 5 and more, you will round, round, up. Now we'll be using the number line to round numbers off to the nearest 10. This is what we're going to use the number line to do. You can use the number line to round off numbers. You can observe the number line with numbers from 0 to 9. And you can show midpoint and demonstrate rounding up and down. There are 4 easy steps to rounding off a number to the nearest 10 on the number line. Step 1. Think about the 2 tens the number falls between. This is the benchmark you will use to decide whether to round up or down. Step 2. Find the midpoint between the 2 numbers. Step 3. Locate the number on the number line. If the number you want to round off is less than the midpoint, round down to the lower 10. If it is at the midpoint or higher, then you will round up to the higher 10. Step 4. Round off the number. Let's get back to the bags with the objects I showed you earlier on. Remember, I asked you to guess how many objects are in each bag. I went ahead and I counted the objects. So now I'll tell you how many I have in each bag. In this bag, we have 7 objects. In this bag, there are 15 objects. And in this bag, there are 27 objects. Remember, I asked you to guess numbers that would end with 0 because we are rounding off to the nearest 10. Here on the board, I have some number lines. If you look closely, the first one here starts at 0 and ends at 10. The second one starts at 10 and ends at 20. The third one starts at 20 and go up to 30. What do you notice about these number lines? They all have numbers illustrated in tens. 0 to 10, that's 1 10. 10 to 20, that's another 10. And 20 to 30, that is another 10. Now, remember our steps. We're going to round off one of the numbers that we counted in our bags here. Let's use 27. What was the first thing we were supposed to do? We were supposed to identify the 2 tens that 27 falls between. Let's look at the number lines and see if we can identify those 2 tens. Between which 2 tens do you think we will find 27? Let's look. 0 to 10, not at all. 10 to 20, not there either. Let's look here. 20 to 30, yes, we will find 27 between 20 and 30. Here is 27. Now, what is the next thing we are going to do? Now, here is our midpoint. It's at 25. Now, if the number that we are going to round up or down ends with 4 or less, what do? We would round down. But if it ends with 5 or more, then we would round up to the higher 10. Remember, our number is 27. Let's look at it closely. 27 ends with the number 7. So 7 is higher than 5. And that tells us that we would round up to the next 10, which is 30. So 27 rounded to the nearest 10 is 30. Let's go to the other bag. In this bag, we have 7 objects. So we want to round the number 7 to the nearest 10. Remember what I said? We are to locate the 2 10 that the number falls between. So the number 7. Remember what the rule says? If it ends with 4 or less, then you round down to the lower 10. If it is 5 or more, then you go up. So 7 here, which is here, would be rounded to 10 when we are rounding 7 to the nearest 10. The last one in our bag here is 15. The number is 15. I'll leave that one for you and your teachers to solve using your number lines at school. Now we're going to be rounding and estimating the total of 2 numbers using rounding. Let's try an example. On screen we have 23 plus 25. What steps should I take to arrive at a rounded number? Let's look at 23. 23 ends with 3. 3 is less than 4. So we're going to go to the lower number, which is 20, because 23 falls between 20 and 30. Let's look at 25. 25 now becomes 30, because remember what the rule says, if it ends with 5 or more, you go up to the higher 10. And 25 falls between 20 and 30. So therefore, 23 becomes 20 when rounded to the nearest 10, and 25 becomes 30 when rounded to the nearest 10. 20 plus 30 give us 50. We can also estimate by rounding two numbers, then subtracting. Let's try a few. 26 take away 12. 26 ends with 6. 6 is more than 5, so 26 becomes 30. That would be 30 take away 12 there becomes 10, because 2 is less than 5. So 12 becomes 10. It's rounded to 10. Therefore, we would have 30 take away 10. That will give us 20 for our answer. I'll leave the other two for you to try along with your teachers. Also, on your own, you can try these. Now, boys and girls, I know you have learned something there again. Let's review. Were we able to round two-digit numbers to the nearest 10? Yes, I'm sure we did. Were we able to estimate answers for addition and subtraction problems? I'm sure we did. What digits in the ones place tell us when to round a number down? Yes. If you said 4 or less, then you are correct. What digits in the ones place tell us when to round a number up? That is true. If you said 5 or more, then you are correct. There are also some websites for you to go on with your parents or your teachers that will allow you to play games and do fun activities rounding numbers off to the nearest 10. Have fun doing mathematics.